Hey folks, I'm going to show you how to make a self-watering planter with a 5-gallon net cup for 5-gallon buckets. This one's Hydro Farm. They don't pay me, but it's been working pretty well. They fit over 5-gallon buckets or any of these 6-inch buckets. Usually they're used for hydroponics, obviously, and we're going to kind of use them for hydroponics, but we're actually going to put them into these 10-gallon grow bags, specifically the tall grow bags, which I could only find from iGarden. The other 10-gallon ones tend to be more wide, and these are pretty much the exact diameter, which is about 12 inches of these net cups, so they fit right in the bottom. So we're going to cut a little hole right here, put this inside, and then the net cup's going to sit in just I think it's a 25-gallon plastic tote that I got at Menards for like 10 bucks. So all off the shelf stuff. Usually these things, if you want to get them from a specialty, manufacturer, probably going to be about twice as much, if not more. But if they break, then you got to buy a new one. Whereas if any of these break, you just get a new one of these or one of these, which is what I did. Because some of these broke last season, and I just bought these specific grow bags, and we're going to replace one of them. All right, so first thing you're going to want to do, just to make sure that you get the hole lined up correctly, so you're just going to put this on top of one of your buckets. This is a smaller one. This isn't a 5-gallon, but it doesn't matter. It's got the same 12-inch diameter. Just put that right in the top there, and you're going to take your grow bag, put it underneath. Overneath? No, over top. And then push it all the way in, and grab these guys at the bottom. Make sure it is flush to the bottom. So hold the bottom like this. Get yourself a pen, and it is black, but it will still show up. And then you just sort of trace the inside of where you can feel the hole here, the round part of the net cup. Just trace around the inside of that, so you'll get exactly where it's supposed to be, where it's supposed to sit. Because if you try and guess, it may be off at a wonky angle or something. There. Now you probably can't see it, but there's a little ring there. Get yourself some garden scissors. I really like these. Stedel, I don't know. Make a little incision there in the middle, and then we're just going to cut around. You know how to cut stuff, right? All right, so now got a hole. Let's see if we did it right. Boom. So that is maybe even a little small, but you know what? It's fabric, so that will stretch a little bit. So it's fine. So next thing we're going to do is we're going to fill this up with some soil. Right, you're going to want to pack it in pretty close to here, because this is what's going to be submerged in water, right? So it's just going to wick the water that it needs. So we're going to go ahead and do that. It's dusty. Now, this is soil that I had in there last year, and I'm just going to reuse it because you can do that. But I am going to amend it with a little bit of this trifecta stuff, which is just a general fertilizer. I think it comes from M.I. Gardner, who's a fantastic gardener, and you should check out his YouTube videos. He's great. I'm in Wisconsin, so he's not that far away. Other people swear by it, so I've never used it before. So we'll see how it goes this year. And once you got about an inch in there, just gonna take a small handful of this stuff, put it in, mix it in. You don't want it too close to the water because then you risk the nutrients leaking into the water, and algae love that stuff. We don't want that. So this isn't a pure hydroponic where we have the nutrient in the water, because this is going to be in a greenhouse, which there's a lot of sun, and I don't want algae in that water. I just want plain water. It worked well for me last year. So all of the fertilizer, all the stuff that the plant needs to eat is in the soil. I'm about halfway, so I'm going to do a little bit more with the trifecta, sort of giving it layers there. Now we're going to go ahead and put it in the greenhouse. All right, we got it all filled up now. All right, I'm just going to grab it here. We're going to walk over to the greenhouse. I didn't do this in the greenhouse because that soil is heavy, and I don't want to carry 8 bags of these. So now you see, I got them all filled up here. Don't have any plants in them. But this is the last one. Looks like I got a leak there. Got to take care of that. This is only the second year here, so it's still kind of an experiment. And I'll also mention that none of these are glued, because obviously there isn't any high pressure. The water comes from that stock tank. And the stock tank, as you can see, is at a higher level than the totes. So the water is just going to come out of there from gravity and feed those automatically. So there's no electricity, there's no pump, and there's no high pressure. So that's why I didn't bother gluing it. And that means sometimes you get these leaks. So I'll just have to fit them a little bit more. I had a leak over here, and it looks like that's taken care of. Well, at least those two are. We'll test this one. I got these little ball valves here. I can turn them on and off as I want. Yeah, and then these are the peppers that are going to be going in there, and I'll show you how that works. All right, so I got all of the peppers in their totes, and they're pretty happy. Got a lot of different varieties. Beaver Dam, that's a spicy one from Cultivating the Commons, which is a Wisconsin seed distributor. Got a grow local, love it. Some Asante, this is a spicy one. Aleppo, mild spicy. That's a Sweet Bell fish pepper. That's going to be interesting. I also got some watermelon seeds in there. We'll see if that works out. I don't know. It's an experiment. Jalapeno's looking really good. And then this guy is a Sweet Orange Bell. And I got the Anaheim, which is a fantastic, just general use, mild drying pepper for paprika. I want to show you, this is where they sit there. I got this guy just sitting right here. That's the net cup. You can see that's where the water wicks into the soil, and it just sits in here. Now it takes a little bit more than just some plain old scissors to cut this. I used aviation snips, which are pretty hardcore. They can cut through almost anything. So you just take a big drill, make a hole, and then kind of cut a little circle in there, and it'll fit right in there. And then this is aluminum tape, just like aluminum foil, but tape. And that is used often with hydroponics to keep the sun away from the water, because if you got sun and water, you got algae. We don't want algae. Got a similar situation happening down here for two reasons. Number one, obviously we want to keep the water cool as possible. So this is kind of a bubble wrap that came with the Blue Apron that we get sometimes, or maybe it was a different one. I don't know. We actually don't get it that often, but it may look like it. I've just been saving this because you can buy it, and they were just sending it to us for free instead of throwing it out. This reflective bubble wrap is I just kept it and used it as a free resource. So it reflects the sun. It's obviously black anyway, but I've as you know, black absorbs light and makes it very warm. We don't want a really warm, hot, water in here. That breeds bacteria and algae, and that's nasty. So we want to at least both insulate it and keep the sun from directly hitting that black plastic. So you might be wondering, how do we keep this water that's higher than the totes from just splurging all out? And the secret is this little guy. Oh look, got some little worm friends who decided to make their home down here. I don't know if they're gonna survive, but hello. But this guy, it's a little cheap thing I bought on Amazon. I think I bought like 12 of them at once. It's called a float valve. Not surprisingly, it floats when the water is high, and that turns the water off. When it gets too low, you can see that and you can hear that water's coming in. So that's the same thing that you got in your toilet. Your toilet's under pressure, obviously, and then when the water in the tank gets high enough, float valve automatically turns it off. Pretty simple but ingenious little mechanism. And again, it doesn't require any electricity at all, which is nice. What also is nice is that I live in Wisconsin, surrounded by water, and that means I have something called a sump pump, which probably you know about. And I just happened to hook it up to some pipes, and it flows directly in here. So when we get a lot of rain, a lot of people use rain barrels. I got a rain barrel set up on my other bed. But that sump pump water is coming out and it's going somewhere, right? So you're either dumping that water into your yard, maybe you're putting it towards a tree or something. But I just pump it here. I actually had that water tested at a professional water testing lab, and it's clean. There's no lead in it. There's nothing. I don't know if I'd drink it, but I'm sure I wouldn't get sick if I did. Anyway, it's clean stuff and it's free, and I get a lot more than I need anyway. So I have a little three-way mechanism over there. So when this is full, like it is now, I can redirect it to go towards the trees instead of in here. So that's how this works. Maybe I'll show you the rest of the sump pump setup a little bit later, but like I said, really simple, lazy system that I don't have to really worry about that much. Worst case, the tank overflows. Not really that big of a deal, but I won't electrocute myself, and my peppers won't dry out, which was really the two things that I wanted. So mission accomplished there. We'll see how these look in a couple weeks, couple months. If they're as successful as they were last year, It's gonna look pretty good.